May profits be upon you. I have another set of markets that I'm going to analyze for the upcoming week. And I'm hoping that you benefit from this video. Do not forget to comment, like, and describe if you like this video and you find a benefit in the content. Okay. Now, what am I looking at? We're going to break down AUDUSD, and I'm going to the weekly. And what do we see? Ha ha! Bearishness. Look at that. I mean, you have price making lows, you know, little pullback here, lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, and it looks like we're on our way to making another lower low. All right, and we had a nice break of structure here. All right, and another one down here, as you can see. All right, so I am bearish here. All right, and we have a demand zone that price is getting ready to come into. So, as my notes say, I'm bearish, and I'm expecting this break of structure to happen. We're getting ready to make that. We'll take a look at it closely, but I'm expecting price to make a lower low from the higher time frame. Expectational order flow. Okay, let's check out the daily, and we'll see the price actions. God, dog. The price action is pretty obvious here. Even though we had a break to the upside here and a higher low, we're like, okay, we'll you know, when that happens, we turned bullish. All right, we make another high, but then we break structure to the downside. Now we're bearish again. Okay, so we make this lower high here. That is established. So there's nothing else to say other than we are bearish. And if we take a good look at this price action, you can see that we had a bearish pattern present itself there. All right, and we did break structure to the downside. Here's the deal, though. Take a close look at this. All right, we wicked below that low. We wicked below it, so that comes across to me as a liquidity grab, not exactly a break of structure. All right, I want to see, when I see a break of structure, there's a close of the candle body below this low. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. But we have grabbed liquidity, so I do expect some kind of reaction to this higher time frame demand zone. All right, we had an impulse. You would think, you know, there would be some kind of pullback and then a continuation. All right, this pullback may not come. We can't expect a return to impulse every time we get a break of structure. We can expect it, but we're not going to get it every time. I'm telling you that. All right. But the fact that we are very bearish, and you can see just how bearish we were. Look how the week closed, 7 days. And the prior week, bearish, right? On this day, on the daily, very bearish. All right, and it's just the Aussie is weak. Now we have upcoming interest rate measures getting ready. They're getting ready to take. You'll see that on Monday, and there's a lot of impactful news on the Aussie. So keep your eye on it. Be careful trading it during news times. Let's go to the weekly. I mean, to the 4 hour. I'm sorry, and we'll look at this price action a little more closely, and you can see, you know, it's been very bearish for small pullbacks, right? But what you want to notice is this is where I have the line for a change of character. If price was to turn around here, I need this to break. I need that to be broken for me to call it a change of character, which is an early signal that price may be heading towards a shift from bearish to bullish momentum. All right. And you would be able to see that even more closely on the lower time frames. That's why I have in my little notes here, I didn't actually have it. If we take a sneaky peek down on the 1 hour, we can see a 1 hour chalk before we'll see a 4 hour chalk, right? So we have lows, and then this candle doesn't break the low. All right, this is a pullback. We come back and break that low. All right, come back and break this low. Oh gosh, here, right? We break this low here with this wick down, and then we come up and break the pullback. So this counts as a change of character on the 1 hour. All right. Price pulls back as a return to the origin or return to impulse, and we're starting to get that reaction. So I'm looking at price head towards liquidity, the buy side liquidity here. I'm thinking that that's exactly what's going to happen. And we'll see our way up to maybe a break in the structure on the 1 hour. But this will be a change of character on the 4 hour. We're only taking a peek. We're trying to get early signals as early as possible. So what it will amount to is a reaction to this order block here, the higher time frame order block. And maybe we get something like this, and then continuation to the downside because the Aussie is very weak. Again, we'll see what happens on Monday if they start talking interest rate. This thing might skyrocket after that. Who knows? But the Aussie and New Zealand dollar are very weak right now. So I'm looking at price come into contact with this higher time frame demand zone and showing signs of maybe turning around. All right, we don't see those signs very obvious on the 4 hour, but you see the signals, the early signals, indications on the 1 hour and the lower ones, the lower time frame. So we may get a break of structure, but on the 4 hour, I need to see this little pullback, broken first before I start thinking to take longs in this market, a very, very bearish market. Okay, let's look at the next one, Aussie yen. Aussie yen is another one set up the same way. All right, if we go down to, it's a little different. The price action is a little not as easy to read because price moves bullishly here, right? High, low, and then we come all the way up here. All right, this is where we enter a range. All right, price makes the higher high, breaking this high, higher high, and then we make this higher low. Right, and then we come up here, take the liquidity here, but we don't get a close above that to break structure. That's important, all right, because it kind of indicates weakness, and price comes down. Price comes back down almost to the higher low, but we respect the higher low, and we know that in a range that if you don't break the low, that made that high, if you don't break that low, you're still bullish. Technically, you are still bullish. It can come all the way down to here. If you use a Fibonacci retracement tool, if it comes down to 786, or lower to 80 or 85%, 90% of a pullback. As long as it doesn't break that low, you're still bullish, because price can come all the way down here and then turn up and start doing its thing again. All right. Technically, we're bullish, but this is looking very bearish to me. Why? Because we broke structure. We broke it without a close now. We grabbed this, we grabbed the liquidity here. No, did we break that structure? Yes, we did. We wicked below this low here and took the liquidity, but we made a weak attempt to make a new high. What does that tell you? That's why I got that yellow line there. What does that tell you? It tells you that, let me get this straight for you. It tells you that this is a weak low and that it's going to be ran for liquidity. So although technically bullish, this is looking very bearish to me. And I believe that we're going to come for the sell side liquidity and head towards that weak low to raid those lows. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So ranging weak attempts at higher high, expecting a run of the week low. Let's go to the daily and take a good look. On the daily, what do we see? Short-term lows being broken, low lows, all the way down. All right, we're almost to this low. All right, the one that helped to make this weak high here. I mean, this weak attempt to make a higher high. All right, so this becomes a liquidity target along with that one. All right, and I don't think there's any, I'm bearish on this time frame. I think that's pretty simple to see. All right, and if we go to the 4 hour, see that these lows being broken. We see all these lower highs coming down. The expectation is reasonable. Expectational order flow is bearish. All right, we are running into this demand zone, and are we going to get a reaction after breaking this low? All right, we have a break of structure here. We broke that low convincingly. Are we going to see the pullback? The only way we can get to do that is by looking on, taking a sneaky peek at the 1 hour time frame. And what do we see on that 1 hour time frame? We see chalk. Let me blow this up for you. All right. What did price do? All these candles are lower than the next one, except this one. No, this one is actually lower too. All right. We get lower here. This is where the exception happens. So this is a pullback. All right. So we mark that pullback. We mark the high of that pullback here. All right. Mark the high. And then the next candle is still higher than this one. All right. And this is an inside candle along with this one. This was an inside candle too, but this one is inside this one. All right. But then we break the lows. We'll break that low here. All right. But this is where price pulled back. So when we come down here and break this high, it says break of structure here, but it's actually a change of character on this time frame. Okay. And this indicates that price will likely go higher as a reaction to this this demand zone. Now, you see how we have this bullish engulfing pattern here? What did price do? Price came back to test the base candle of this bullish engulfing pattern. And this is where I expect price to go up from. So that although I'm bearish on this, we had a change of character here. All right. And on the lower time frame, on the 15, where I go to, that is a break of structure to the upside. So I'm looking for price to quite possibly climb a little higher as a reaction and then continue bearishly. Let me go back to the 4 hour where we belong. All right. We may establish the lower low here from here, pull up for a lower high, and then continue the bearish momentum. All right. Where are the places that I'd be looking for? I'll be watching out for. I'll watch out for here. All right. That'd be the first place I look. All right. And now I want that whole candle. As soon as it comes into my space, that's where I want to start clocking. I want to start clocking this. Okay. It might come all the way up here. It might come all the way up there, but I'm going to start clocking from here. All right. And also here, if I can just get this thing to act right. It's trying to embarrass me in front of company. All right. So these are the two places I'll be looking for a possible pullback and then continuation down. Something like this. Come on, man. Really? Is that what we're doing? Something like that. Either here or there, one or the other. We'll look here first. Got it? Let's go to the next one. NZDUSD. Let's go to the weekly. Let's break it down. What's my note say? Bearish. Expecting a lower low. Look at this market. All right. You can just look at it immediately and say, okay, it's bearish now. All right. But we want to make sure that we are outside of ranges and things like that. You want to make sure you get a full picture. All right. Price comes all the way down here, making this lower low. Right. And then we break structure here. Break structure to the upside, we become bullish. All right. All the way up here. We didn't break these highs. All right. We tried, but price gives us the old head and shoulders here. Right. Gives us the head and shoulders. It's actually a quasi, comes back up, return to impulse, and then we started making our way down. Again, what we're looking at is breaks of structure and return to impulse. All right, we broke structure there. Price breaks these short-term lows, and we're looking at price break this low here. All right, each time we come up, we have a pullback up to structures here. We came twice here, right? Broke structure there, as you can see. We didn't get that full pullback. You can't go in expecting that full pullback all the time. 7 out of 10 times it's going to happen. The other 3 times, so, it's actually maybe 8 times out of 10. After a break of structure, you'll see a return to impulse or return to origin, but it's that 20% of the time it doesn't happen. All right, so we break these lows down. Very bearish week for the New Zealand dollar against the USD. So now we are coming into contact with a demand zone, and I'm thinking price is probably going to come for this sell side liquidity here. Let's go to the daily. And what do we see? We see this price action up close. We see that we've come into contact with this this demand zone here, and we haven't had a pullback yet. I'm expecting a reaction. Hello. I'm expecting a reaction of some kind. You know what I mean? After an impulse like this, you expect a correction. All right. So we just broke here on the daily. This is a break of structure. Boom. Looking for a pullback. Now, I'm expecting a pullback to come at some point. You see how we're just barreling all the way down here. You see, when I start to see wicks like this, and when they leave that small body, I'm thinking that price is getting ready to it shows signs of exhaustion to the impulse, and I'm looking for price to maybe turn around. Now we got that here, right? And it never turned around. It just regained momentum. We formed another bearish pattern here. Price doesn't have to have a reaction to this order block. All right, by no means. It could still come down and find the higher time frame order block here for sure. All right, but what do we look for? We look for a change of character on lower time frames. If we sneaky peek down to the 1 hour, what we can see is there was a chart here, all right, where price jetted back up here, right? Price came back down. Now we broke the lows. We broke those lows, took liquidity from the low, and then we formed this bullish engulfer here, right? All right, and we have price testing, just like in the Aussie dollar, we have price testing the what do you call this thing? The base candle of the bullish engulfing pattern. All right, comes back, we're tested, and what I would normally see is after a test of mitigation, we see price trail up. If price breaks this, that would be on this time frame a break of structure. This is the 1 hour. So if we went down to the 15, hold on a second. We went down to, don't tell nobody we're going down to 15. I'm taking a peek here, and I'm looking at that pullback here. Let me see something here. Come on, man. This is 36 pips. If we get a break right there, we get a break there on the 4 hour. That's close. That's very close. On the 15-minute, that's very close. I'm gonna look for a break past this way, past this high. If we get a break past this high, God dug it. If we, I'm sorry, y'all. Things just ain't working out the way I want to. All right, if we get a break past this way, I would be looking at this as a change of character. If price gives us come on, man, don't laugh. I'm embarrassing myself. Okay, if price gives us a break past this, a return to the impulse and a continuation up higher, and give us another break here, I would think that price is going to have that bullish reaction, and we're going to find, price will find the bearish order block that will turn it back to bearish momentum. But it's a big ask to think that price is going to go all the way back up here for sure. But this is something I should have pointed out. I see it. This is something that I should have pointed out here. You see this demand zone that is light in color. That's because it was broken here, right? And I want to show you that when price comes down into this, we're looking for a reaction to it. We're looking for a reaction into that demand zone. And this was the reaction. We came back, and this is the extreme of the reaction, right? Price then impulse passed and broke this order block with a close, right? Now, that makes this a very strong, that's why I have the blue line up there. That makes this a very strong high. And this will be a great spot for a high probability short. Okay. So if price comes back up here, this is the place I would look for a short. For sure. Also, let me not just, gloss over this. Price could very well find that short here because it's above here. There was a pullback here, and then the rest of the impulse continued on to break this demand zone. So if price comes back here, this is another spot to watch. All right, but I'm looking at this spot as well. This is my spot for sure, but this might be a spot that price may find its way back to, and we can take a good short from there. But I am bearish in this market, bearish on all of the time frames. Okay, if we get a turnaround here, in which we're seeing signs of that on the lower time frame, or the 15-minute chart is weak. I didn't actually go there, did I? This 15-minute, you're not supposed to look at this. This is for when I go over in detail at the premium Discord for Lion's Den. All right. We did get a chalk here. Price came down. We broke it. We swang up, broke this high. Let me get off of this thing. All right, we broke that high, and that's chalk. All right, change of character, but it was weak. It didn't go to any place, and because we came back and broke that low. All right, that kills it. That nullifies it. So now we're looking here. All right, we have a low here. We swing to the upside. Came down lower. All right, and then we finally broke that top. All right, we broke the high that made that low. All right, this is chalk. All right, we closed, we pulled back, and now we have this doji candle here. But I'm expecting, if it's if it has any strength to it, maybe we come back down to this test this demand zone here and continue higher. If we break that high, oh my friends, we're going to have a break of structure to the upside. Okay, so we want to see how this goes. We want to keep an eye on that. That's how I use the 15-minute time frame. All right, next one is New Zealand dollar yen. All right, let's go to the weekly. Pretty much same situation. I am bearish. All right, you can see that we made a break of structure here after making that high. Right, we made that high and broke structure to the downside. That makes us bearish automatically. We had a weak attempt to make a higher high. All right, what we ended up making is a lower high, breaking this low, breaking structure to the downside. And what am I expecting on the higher time frame? We're going to establish a lower low somewhere. All right, are we in that zone to do it now? Anytime we break and close below the break of structure of the structural point, then we're in that zone, and it could happen anywhere. Okay, let's go down to the daily, if we can just get it right. All right, we have this break of structure here, and you see how we're making our way down into another demand zone here, and we're going to come into contact with this demand zone, I fear. And I'm thinking, when we get here, what I'm going to look for is chalk, the early signal that price may want to break structure to the upside, may want to shift from bearish to bullish momentum. If it does so, I'll be looking here first for price to make a lower high and continue down. It'd be a very tall ask, a high expectation to think price is going to come all the way up here, back to the origin, because it is a break of structure. If we come back to these areas here, all right, you know, that's a really tall ask, but you know, that's something we want to be ready for. Also ready for price just to keep bearish, because the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar are the weakest of the currencies right now, and against the yen and the USD, which are the strongest. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. You just got to be prepared for each way it goes. I don't mark the supply zone here yet, because it hasn't done anything. It hasn't accomplished anything. If it breaks a low, then it's accomplishing something. But right now, I don't have it marked. If we go down to the weekly, no, I'm at the 4-hour. All right, I'm bearish, expecting reaction to the DZ. This is where I'm looking for. I'm looking for that contact. All right, and I'm waiting on it. Now, one could argue, I want to make sure I put this out there. One could argue that we are already in supply. You see this wick? It looked like a crazy old news wick or something, right? But there is demand. I'm sorry, I meant to say demand the first time. There is demand in this wick, all right? And we've touched down in the middle of it right now. We're pretty inside. We're pretty well inside this thing, right? But you see how we've gone past the 50% mark, a very important point. I think that we're gonna just break through this. That's why I don't have it marked there. I think it'll just pass through this area and into this supply zone down here, waiting for it. Okay, so I'm looking for price to continue lower, but I want to look at this reaction. There's a range going on here, and if we can see that range, if we take a sneaky, dirty peek at the 15-minute, right? We can see price came swing up, broke that low, and then continued lower, right? All right, and we made the lowest low here, right? So where would I see a hint that price would want to change from bearish to bullish? It would be right around here, right? And what did we get? After breaking the high that made this low, we broke the high here, all right? But we only took liquidity. We didn't close above this area. We took liquidity from these points, from here, right? So what do I need? What do I need to see? I need to see a break, and I need to see that break. You know, a close, excuse me, a break and a close above this line. I need to see a break and a close above that line to get me to believe that price is turning around here. All I'm thinking is that field that I didn't illustrate, that I didn't put a box over. We're having a reaction here, right? And I don't think the reaction is going to be what's so high, all right? And I just want to be cognizant of the kind of highs that are here. All these points have liquidity there, all right? If price is really hungry, if it's completed generating orders, generating liquidity, then we can see a sweep of these highs. But I don't think that reaction is going to happen here. All right, but I want to be flexible in case it does, because this is quite a turnaround, right? But I'm looking for price to break this low and continue down, and then we see some action here with a possible eye towards sweeping these highs. I'm not thinking that it's going to happen here. It could, because like I said, arguably we are already in demand. We are already in demand. If we go down to the 4-hour, somebody could call that demand, man. this, because you can see through this field that price took off from here. It touched and took off, but I'm looking at the source of this touch, and I'm thinking that price is going to make its way down there. That's where we're going to get our reaction. That is my logic. That is my logic. If price breaks this high, then I'll be thinking different. We'll see an indication that price may want to turn around here. Okay, so look out for it. Look out for it. All right, and I hope you found this video helpful, beneficial, and nutritious for your mind. All right. Please do not forget to smash that like button because it helps the YouTube algorithm. Okay, and it helps to build my channel. And subscribe and like and comment if you would, because that helps the algorithm as well. Let me know if there's a pair or pairs or markets that you just want me to do some analysis on, and I'll make sure to answer, to get a good response to you quickly. I respond to all my commenters and all my subscribers and all my viewers if you leave a comment. All right, I will see you in the next video. Trade safely for the upcoming week.